Welcome to the Sunday Unity of Reading message. Today is Sunday, October 18th, and our daily word is steadfast. I'm a steadfast spiritual seeker. No matter where I may be on my path, sometimes my spiritual life feels easy, and sometimes it feels hard. There are times I enjoy new insights, blissful clarity, and peace. Other times I may struggle feeling stuck and directionless, or even lonely on my walk with God. At times like these, I renew my commitment to my spiritual path. Although my attention may have wandered, the divine presence within me has always remained steadfast, as near as my next thought. Wherever I am in space, time, or consciousness, I discover love, strength, and wisdom of God expressing through me. And from Psalms 139, 9-10, if I take the wings of the morning and settle at the furthest limits of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me fast. So one of our greatest spiritual practices of living as the divine flow is to release whatever might be blocking the flow of life in, as, and through us. Remember, Lao Tzu said, the human spirit has its source in a divine fountain, which must be permitted to flow freely through us. The pain someone experiences during a myocardial infarction, or heart attack as it's commonly called, is due to a blockage in the heart not allowing the oxygenated blood to flow. Many times the pain in our lives, whether it be physical or emotional pain, is caused by some sort of blockage. The blockage, of course, is usually something we cannot let go of. The divine fountain cannot flow freely through and as us if there is a blockage. Our painful moments get us in touch with the energy that must be released. Letting go is one of the most difficult challenges human beings ever face. There's a parable about Krishna saying to the people, here, I have a very special gift for you, the gift of immortality. Won't you reach out and take it? Thank you, they say, but we can't, you see. Our hands are full of these sweet mangoes. Krishna smiles. Let go of the mangoes, he explains patiently. Then your hands will be free. But Lord, they protest, we like mangoes. Why don't you give us your gift first? Then we promise that we'll let go of the mangoes. Another story is related to trapping monkeys. The trap consists of a hollowed-out coconut chained to a stake. The coconut has some rice inside which can be grabbed through the small hole. The monkey's hand fits through the hole, but once he grabbed the rice, his clenched fist cannot fit back out. The monkey is suddenly trapped, but not by anything physical. He's trapped by an idea, unable to see that the principle that has served him well, when you see rice, hold on to it, has become lethal. Therefore, he is easily caught, still clutching onto the rice because he is unwilling to let go. What must be released in your life and in your consciousness in order for God's great good to express in your life? Are you willing to let go and allow the divine flow? What are your mangoes? What is your rice? Only you can answer that question. I can't. No one else can. Only you. Katrina Mayer wrote, clutter is found in so many shapes and sizes. We can find it on our kitchen tables, under our beds, in our cars, and in our heads. We all know that we can't obtain our greater good while we are holding on to the more limited. We also know that the human body cannot go more than 90 minutes with a fully blocked artery before serious heart damage kicks in. The Tao Ching says, when I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. When I let go of what I have, I receive what I need. Edwina Gaines' book, The Four Spiritual Laws of Prosperity, says, you have the authority to release from your life all those people, situations, relationships, objects, thoughts, emotions, and concerns that do not empower you. As a being that is growing and changing, you must let go of that which no longer enriches your life. She also wrote in Strive for Order, the mystics tell us that order is heaven's first law, and it should be ours too. We can never feel we're at our best when we are surrounded by a mess. Several months ago, I presented a message on letting go, which focused on letting go of our past, our beliefs that no longer serve us. It's basically doing a mental house cleaning. Today, I want to present the idea of letting go in a different way, a more physical way. During our Thursday evening discussion groups, we have been going through the processes of increasing our vibrations presented by Esther Hicks. One of the processes was clearing the clutter for clarity. Honestly, I did not resonate with the process she presented, as it seemed to me just sorting and storing, not necessarily releasing and discarding. What she wrote about the cluttered environment did, however, pique my interest and attention. From the book Ask and It Is Given, Hicks writes, "A cluttered environment can cause a cluttered point of attraction. If you are surrounded by unfinished work, unanswered letters, incomplete bills, unpaid bills, incomplete projects, unattended to tasks, unsorted piles of paperwork and stray magazines, catalogs, and all other manner of miscellaneous items, they can negatively affect your life experience. Because everything carries its own vibration, and because you develop a vibrational relationship with everything in your life, your personal belongings do have an impact on the way you feel and on your point of attraction." And that is so important. I'll read that again. Because everything carries its own vibration, and because you develop a vibrational relationship with everything in your life, your personal belongings do have an impact on the way you feel and on your point of attraction. Let's face it, we all have a habit of gathering stuff around us. Take a few minutes and look around your home. Peek into your closets, cupboards, under your bed, your attic, garage, or basement. Do you have so many clothes you need to put them in more than one room, more than one closet? Do you even realize the abundance of clothing that you own? Do you have more than one thing, but hold on to it just in case the one that you're using breaks? Most of us are in the habit of gathering stuff around us, and even though our spaces are filled, we feel the need to have more stuff. Most of us gather to stuff because it's a way for us to keep score. It's a way to fill our time. In other words, we live in a physical world, and physical manifestation has become important to us. But then we get buried in the details of our manifestation. Most of us spend time just looking for things, and it's not only because we have too many to sort through, but it's because the gathering of stuff is contrary to the freedom that is inherent within all of us. Sometimes the feeling of sadness makes us feel empty, so people often try to fill the feelings of emptiness with stuff. We buy more things and bring it home and just add to what we already have instead of replacing what we have. Many of us, like myself, find two major hindrances to clearing away clutter. First, you may remember throwing something away only to discover soon after that you really did need it after all. So now you're reluctant to throw anything away. The second, you realize that to really do a good job of getting organized would take far more time than you have to give to the project. For every time you have ever attempted to get organized, you have become bogged down in the sorting process and have ended up leaving an even bigger mess than when you began. Many people do get to the point that they know that they need to organize and downsize, but still can't bring themselves to let go. So they rent storage space. Do you realize the self-storage industry's annual revenue in 2019 was a whopping $39.5 billion, with a 3.6% increase, one-year increase, and a nearly 50% increase since 2010. The self-storage industry revenue continues to be one of the fastest growing sectors in the U.S. economy. As Hicks explains, if you could go through and release those things you're not wearing, release those things you're not using, release them, and leave your experience in a clearer place, then the things that you are more in harmony with, who you are, will flow more easily into your experience. You all have the capacity for attraction, and when your process is clogged with stuff that you can no longer want or need, the new attraction is slower, and then you end up with a feeling of frustration and overwhelmment. Remember, our physical reality is a reflection of our inner reality. If our homes are filled with stuff we do not need or that no longer serve us, things that bring us joy, what is that telling us about our thoughts and our inner mental processes? If we find it hard to let go of physical items we no longer need, how much harder is it to let go of our past beliefs and experiences? Just as with the self-storage lockers or containers, we are able to put them to the side, but we hold on to them to bring them back into our experience at a later date. We may say we have let go, but never completely let go or forgive. I did some further investigation on the process of clearing the clutter on a physical basis. I discovered a book written by Marie Kondo entitled The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. Kondo disagrees with the concept that so many of us buy into of doing one room at a time in small time slots, as what we end up doing is just moving our clutter from one thing and things from one space to another. She teaches making your house cleaning as an event, all at one time. She suggests starting with clothes and taking all of your clothes from every space in your home and throw them on your bed and realize the abundance you have. Realize that you are really living in excess. You have an abundance already. By doing this process, it brings us face to face with our stuff, not only our physical stuff, but our mental condition. We need to re-ask ourselves why we need to hang on to these things. What is the purpose of having all this stuff? Why is it so hard to part with our physical things? Is all this stuff supporting the life that I want? She teaches to take each item, hold it in your hand, and ask yourself, does this spark my joy? She says we must discard first before we store. Emmett Fox stated, if we can't let go, we cannot make spiritual progress. Letting go is a powerful spiritual practice, and if we cannot let go of our physical stuff, what kind of message is that giving us? Maybe we should really consider that. I always say I teach what I need to learn, and for me, this is a huge lesson and something that I have to look at myself. As I was changing over my summer clothes to winter clothes, I did text my daughter and say, if I ever say I want to go to Goodwill again, please have me committed to a mental institution. I have way too much stuff. Hicks wrote, sometimes people tell us that they're not bothered by clutter, so we tell them that this process then is unnecessary for them. However, since every piece of everything does carry a vibration, almost everyone does feel better in an uncluttered environment. Take a look around your house, particularly in those spaces you cram in your stuff, and ask yourself, how does that make me feel when I look at it? Remember also, life is a constant flow. We need to release so we can be refilled. Just as the monkeys holding on to the rice or the people with their mangoes, what are we holding on to that is preventing the flow of more good into our lives? Do we trust in God, the universe, to provide for us on a minute-to-minute basis, a day-to-day basis, or are we holding on out of fear and lack? Remember, even the Bible reveals a story where the Israelites were instructed they would be provided with food every day. They were to only gather what they needed for that day and not hold on to or hoard any more than that. This was an act of faith. Kondo's process is quite extreme, and honestly, I don't know if I'm ready for all of it. But I do know that it's time for me to take a look at all my stuff and to really become willing and make a decision to let go of what is not sparking joy within me. Today, I encourage you to take one step towards cleaning out the clutter in your life. Tidy your house, balance your checkbook, file your paperwork, organize your office, complete any unfinished projects that have been weighing on your mind, clean out your closets and your drawers, and you'll realize the abundant life that you're living, not only abundant, but in excess. Take time to sit quietly and take a thorough inventory of your life. Let go of any elements that are draining your energy and disrupting your peace of mind. Release the burdens of the past and begin anew. Keep only what you are sure you will wear again. If it is still in good wearing or working order, don't throw them away. Give them away or sell them. Put them back into circulation. Remember, life is all about circulation and flow. Ask yourself with each item, does this spark my joy? Holding on to things out of habit or fear you might need them later is saying you don't trust the universe to supply your needs. Hanging on through fear sets up lack and limitation by stopping the flow of circulation into your life. Remember, spirit is the essence of all that exists. Physical objects are spiritual energy. All energy must flow to do its work. When stagnation exists, creation cannot take place. The law of circulation states that all things in the universe are always flowing in circulation, but at an ever-expanding rate. In other words, what you give to one person, you will receive from a different source. Edwina Gaines writes, when we declutter our lives, we signal to the universe that we are ready to handle more good. Use this affirmative prayer. I let go of everything and everybody that is no longer a part of my divine plan in my life. I now let go of old, dissatisfying ways of living, old, unsatisfactory methods of work and dissatisfying relationships of the past and present. I fully and freely release. I joyously make room for my good, which quickly appears in rich and appropriate form. I now move forward into my expanded good, divinely directed and lavishly prospered. I know that release is magnetic. Through the act of release, I now draw to myself my own. I now fully and freely release. I lose and let go. I let go and grow. I let grow and trust. I am the flow of God's great good. And so it is. Amen. So we'll take some of these thoughts into meditation. I invite you to get comfortable wherever you are, whether you're sitting, lying, reclining. Take a deep breath in. Feel the oxygen circulate through your body. Feel the flow of life going through your body. It's the flow of life with no blockages, with no clutter. Know that the next breath will be available to you. As you take your next breath, breathe in the gratitude of abundance. The gratitude of abundance of air, the gratitude for abundance for everything that you need in life. Know that the universe will provide every minute, every day. We don't need to hold on or hoard. We don't need to gather more stuff, for we will be provided for. As you feel the flow of life through your body, know that this flow of life flows through everything. Take some time to have gratitude, even for your clutter. Give thanks for it being in your life, for doing its job, and become willing to let go of those things that are no longer serving you. As you make a commitment to do a physical declutter, always give gratitude for the item, for the service that it has provided. Give gratitude for someone to have it and to love it just as you had. And become willing to let it go and give it away. Feel the energy flow as you make a commitment to let go. Feel the renewal of life, the circulation, the flow of God flowing in and as you. As you declutter your home, feel the flow of energy, allowing space for the new, the magnificent, the good. Know that release and letting go is a powerful spiritual practice. As you let go of the physical, know that you are letting go also of the mental clutter. For the physical is a manifestation of our mental inner processes. Use the affirmative prayer. I let go of everything and everybody that is no longer a part of the divine plan of my life. I am willing to let go of all those things that no longer serve me, physical and mental. I make a commitment and I'm willing to let go of all those things that do not spark my joy. I see myself in a peaceful, orderly, environment, which brings me so much joy, which sparks good in my life. I now let go of the old, dissatisfying ways of living. I let go of the unsatisfactory methods of work and dissatisfying relationships of the past and the present. I only hold on to those things that spark my joy. As I let go, I feel a huge release. I feel energy moving through my body. I feel energy moving through my environment. I feel the creative process at work. I feel the creative circulation of life. I fully and freely release. I joyously make room for my new good as I release the old, knowing that the universe will provide. My new good quickly appears in rich and appropriate form. I know that whatever I give, I will receive. I give grace, I give in gratitude. I give from the abundance that I have. I feel a renewed sense of abundance and prosperity. I realize I am living in abundance and perhaps even excess. I give thanks for the prosperity and the abundance already in my life, all around me. And I know that I no longer have to hold on out of fear or lack, for I know I am loved. I know I am provided for. I want to live in peace. I want to live in joy. I want to live in comfort. I want to live in this spiritual knowing that as I give, I receive, for I live in the incredible circulation of life. I now move forward into my expanded good, divinely directed and lavishly prospered. I know that release is magnetic. As I release, I give to others those things that no longer serve me, and I see the joy it brings to them. I see I am a vehicle to fill their needs for clothing, for items I no longer have or I have in excess. I know that release is magnetic. Through the act of release, I now draw to myself my own. I now fully and freely release. I loose and let go. I let go and I grow. I grow and I trust. Take a few minutes at this time to make the commitment and become willing to let go of those items in your home that you no longer need, that do not spark your joy, and envision the joy it will bring to others. Envision your home peaceful, orderly. See the flow of life in your environment. See the space that brings you comfort and peace. a space that brings you joy wherever you look. Feel the abundance of what you have. Know your prosperity. Feel grateful for that prosperity. And know that you can freely release out of joy, out of your own abundance. Know that you are the flow of God's great good. Today I trust, I release, I let go. I grow in my spiritual path. And I know that I am always, always provided for in this abundant, lavish universe that God has provided me. And so it is. Before you open your eyes, before you move around and come back into this space, make a commitment in your heart, in your mind, with every fiber of your being, to release, to give away those things you no longer need. Ask yourself, does this spark my joy? Feel the joy and the gratitude of those items that you keep. And envision the joy and the gratitude of someone else receiving those items. And know you are a divine being, a vessel of God, in the flow of a lavish, prosperous life. And so it is. When you're ready, you can move around. Take a deep breath in, feel the love, the abundance of the universe. Open your eyes, come back into this space, and continue on your journey of letting go. And so it is. Amen.